Hey guys, it's Leah. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to another book haul. This one is going to be slightly different to my normal because it is more so a book haul than a book unboxing. With that being said, however, I do have 4 parcels that I am going to unbox first, just because it doesn't feel like my normal book hauls if I don't at least unbox one thing. I'm really excited to open these. We have 2 Amazon parcels, a fairyloot parcel, and then a book from a publisher, and I cannot wait to see what is in there. This is going to be my last book haul of the year. So many of these books here that I am going to show you are books that I'm taking into 2025 that are like my most prioritized TBR. But let's just get straight on into it. First and foremost, I think we should open one of the Amazon parcels. I did order an Amazon book. I don't think it's arrived just yet though, so if it's not in here, I have no idea what these are, and I will assume that they're from you guys. So I'm just gonna open one of them first. This one feels so thin that I literally have no idea what it could be. Oh my god, it's tiny. I'm gonna see if they're... Okay, yeah, I found the note. Oh my god, Steph. Steph is one of my lovely patrons. I love her so much. She's a massive part of that community. I've never been more pleased to have found someone's channel. Steph, I'm actually gonna cry. I'm so proud of all you've achieved in the last year and can't wait to see what happens in 2025. You've got this. Love you tons. Steph. Oh my god, my eyes are actually watering. The book is... Stop! The book is Now Go on Grief and Studio Ghibli. I actually spoke about this in my most recent Come Book Shopping With Me. I wanted this for so long. Steph, thank you so much. I wanted this for ages. It's by Carl Thomas Smith, and if you know anything about me, I'm a massive Ghibli lover. I'm obsessed with every single Ghibli film, and I've always been so intrigued by the theme of grief in his movies. So Steph, thank you so much. I've been so excited about this book for such a long time. I adore you, Steph. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna leave the other Amazon parcel once I've unboxed these other ones. So next then, let's do my fairy loot. I always forget to bring scissors, and then I'm just looking around my room that's close to me and I'm like, what the f can I open this with? Okay, we're in. I'm gonna assume that this is either the November or December adult book club pick. I can't remember where we are with it. There's no monthly card, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's one. I don't think I've ordered any though. Okay, I'll try and show you guys what it is first. Okay, all I can see is the back, and that looks stunning. It is... Wait, is this the November or the December adult box? Because I have no idea, but oh my god, those edges. Those might be some of my favourite sprayed edges I have ever seen in my entire life. This is gorgeous. It is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. Wait, I recognise that name. What else has she written? Okay, the end papers. I'm sick. I got a bit too ahead of myself and I did see the naked hardback. Oh my god. This is the front of the naked hardback. That is the spine, and then that is what it looks like. I have no idea what this is or what it is about, but this edition is making me want to drop everything right now. Oh, okay. Mary E. Pearson wrote Dance of Thieves and also The Kiss of Deception. How did I not realise the same author wrote those 2 series? I've actually been really intrigued to read Dance of Thieves. This is one that I would definitely read. Oh my god, I'm so excited. And then there is a reverse dust jacket. I'm assuming that this is like the normal cover of the book. This might be one of my favourite fairy loot editions that we've got all year. I'm very excited about that. Definitely adding that to my 2025 TBR. Okay, next let's open this one. This one is from Book Break, but I can't remember what I requested from them. I have an idea what it could be, but I don't want to say just in case it's wrong, so that was satisfying. It is... Okay, this is what I thought it could be. I did not think I was gonna get this. This is a proof of Olivia Blake's newest book coming out next year, Gifted and Talented. I saw that Book Break were doing like 4 different edition proofs with all of the different characters on the front, so I have no idea how to pronounce this character's name and I don't want to butcher it. I've been so excited about this. I've still only read one Olivia Blake, and that was Masters of Death, and that is like a 5-star fantasy for me, but I haven't read anything else because I'm so scared that all of her other books aren't going to live up to that one for me. But I literally own essentially all of them, so I'm definitely going to prioritize her in 2025. I have been very excited about this though. Thank you so much, Book Break. It comes out in April 2025. I cannot wait to read that. Okay, and then the last one to unbox is another Amazon one, and then we'll get on to all of the books that aren't unboxings. I again have no idea what this is, but it feels massive. Like the book is like this big. Let's try and find a note. Okay, I found it. Oh my god, Anna. It's from Anastasia, another one of my lovely patrons. You guys are gonna make me cry. Anastasia put, "Dear Leah, you mentioned that you are a Bronte girl, so I thought you might enjoy this edition." Wait. Oh my god, I know what it is. Let me in. Shut up. It is the illustrated letters of the Brontes, the letters, diaries and writings of Charlotte, Emily and Anne Bronte. Why am I actually gonna cry? I have had my eye on this for so long because look at how beautiful it is. I love collecting editions of any of the Brontes books. I love learning about their life. I just love them so much in general. Like, again, if you know anything about me, you know that I'm in love with the Brontes. Anastasia, thank you so much. I'm literally gonna cry. This is also one of the most gorgeous like coffee table books I've ever seen. Thank you so much. You guys are actually, I love you guys so much. I love my patrons so much. They are the sweetest people in the entire world. It is such a lovely community. So Anastasia and Steph, thank you guys. I'm gonna cry. Okay, before we get on to the rest of the books up here, I would love to take a minute to thank the sponsor of this video, which is books2door. I spoke about books2door in my last book haul because they are now one of my all-time favourite bookshop websites. Books2door have the most affordable books in general, but especially their book series. Whether you're looking for any age range, any genre, they literally have everything on there. To give you an example of how affordable they are, like they are so much cheaper than your average bookshop, and I'm literally obsessed with them. I have spent hours browsing their website and all of the deals, but to give you some examples of the ones that I have, I first and foremost have the Shadowhunters The Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. I will pop the normal retail price for this book series on screen here, but then I will also put the Books2door price, and you can see how much they differ. You can get this book series on Books2door for literally the price of 2 paperbacks in a normal bookshop. I literally don't know how they do it. I am so excited to read this series in 2025. I might have a fun video series coming on it. Actually, if anyone has any good recommendations or know the perfect reading order for the series, because I know that some people say to read like the first 3 and then the Infernal Devices and then read the last 3, I think. But if you've read this entire universe, please let me know the best reading order. But I'm very excited to read this next year. And then this next box set is another fantasy series that I cannot wait to read next year, but I'm honestly floored at the price difference for this one specifically. It is the gorgeous new hardback editions of the Caraval series. I read the entire Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy this year and I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with Stephanie Garber's writing, so I definitely will be reading these next year. Again, I will have the normal retail price for these in the corner here and then Books2door's price here. You can save so much money on this box set, and this is only a glimpse into everything else that they have on their website. If you're looking to gift a specific book or book series for yourself, even for Christmas, or any literary lover in your life, I would highly recommend checking out Books2door. You will undoubtedly save so much money, so I'm going to leave the link to their website at the very top of my description. I highly recommend checking them out. I know so many of you checked their website off of my last book haul and loved them, which makes me so happy. I'm obsessed with Books2door, and also I would just love for you guys to save some money. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking out their link at the very top of my description. And of course, once more, a massive thank you to Books2door for sponsoring this segment of the video. Okay, now onto the actual haul part of this video. We have so many books here. I don't even know how many. Maybe I should count. Okay, we have 34. I really need to not buy any books for a hot minute. We'll just go in any random order. So first and foremost, we have, The Story of Art Without Men by Katie Hessel. I have been very intrigued about this book ever since it won like the Waterstones prize in 2022, I want to say. And ever since I wanted to read it, but the hardback is massive, so I knew I wanted to consume it through the paperback. Everything about this book is gorgeous, and I'm so excited to actually delve into it because every time I flick through it, all of the gorgeous paintings I'm obsessed with. It is literally what the title suggests, The Story of Art Without Men, so it is solely about women and their art. It covers so many different places and historical periods, and I'm just so excited to actually sit and kind of read this because everything about it is gorgeous. I'm so happy that I have it. Another one that I'm really happy that I have, which is quite similar in that vein, is Secret Voices, A Year of Women's Diaries. 2024 was my year of journaling, of actually writing a diary and kind of sticking to it, and ever since I've been so obsessed with the idea of reading other people's, I'm a nosy person anyway, babe, but just reading other people's journal entries and diaries, especially artists, has always fascinated me, so I'm so happy to have this book. The entire book is essentially split into dates, so for every single date of the year there will be at least one diary entry. Let's see what today's is. So I'm filming this on the 20th of December, so let's read Barbara Castle's one, why not? Frost and Snow. Ted, her husband, and I nearly lost our fingers pulling snow-frozen ivy off the trees to decorate our cottage. The car broke down, we had great difficulty collecting the Christmas trees from Jackson's farm, and Ted got into quite a suicidal mood, but I said that it is always a good sign when things go wrong before the night. I'm so excited. Maybe in 2025 I will go through this daily and kind of highlight what every single one is every day. That could be fun, but I just adore this sort of thing, and again it's like this gorgeous coffee table book, so I'm very happy to have that one also. Okay, next we have, this one is a romance book that comes out in 2025. This is a proof, and it is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I have still only read one book by B.K. Borison, and that was Love Like Farms. That one is definitely still my favourite holiday romance that I've ever read, and I really do want to carry on with that series. I don't know if this one is a start of a new series or if it's interconnected to the other one or it's a standalone, but I'm really excited about it. It does come out in February 2025, and I'm going into it quite blind. To give myself and you guys an idea of what it's about, on the top it does say, a hopeless romantic meets a demoralised radio host in this cozy Sleepless in Seattle inspired love story from beloved author B.K. Borison. I'm very excited. I've been wanting to read another B.K. Borison for a long time. time, so this is one I'm definitely gonna read, likely in January. Then the next two books were sent to me by the British Library, so I will show them in unison. First one is The Weird Tales of Dorothy K. Haynes. I absolutely love, I have seen so many of them from when I worked at the bookshop. British Library do this beautiful collection of horror stories and anthologies and collections, and they are all in the same style. Like, these are gorgeous. And then the other one that they sent me was The Chamomile by Catherine Carswell. I have never heard about this author, I've never heard about this book, but when they did send me these books, they did write a little bit about why they sent me these ones. They said, "We thought you might like these titles. Dorothy K. Haynes has been dubbed Scotland's answer to Shirley Jackson," which is of course this one, and then The Chamomile is very Virginia Woolf coded. So I love Virginia Woolf and Shirley Jackson. I was absolutely not expecting these, so thank you so much, British Library. I'm very, very excited. If you pitch anything to me as Shirley Jackson or Virginia Woolf, I'm probably gonna love it. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to delve into this series that they do for a really long time anyway, so thank you so much to the British Library for those. Next we have a proof for another 2025 release that I'm very, very excited about, and that is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stevens. I have already had so many of my friends read this and absolutely adore it. So many of them have been rating it 5 stars, and now my excitement is literally through the roof. I cannot wait to read this. This one also comes out in February. It is pitched as Our Infinite Fates is an enthralling star-crossed lovers romance that spans millennia. For fans of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, they both die at the end and one day. I know it's also sapphic, and I'm just so incredibly excited to read this because of all of the reception it's already been getting. There's also say the must-read enemies to lovers romance of 2025, and I mean, I've been getting into that era this year, and I'm definitely carrying that on next year. That is one that I'll probably also definitely read in January. Onto this stack. Okay, I have technically already hauled this, but I hauled it in a vlog, not in my last book haul. I probably shouldn't include it, but just to show you, it is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. I am so excited for this. This is one of my most anticipated releases of next year. It is likely my most anticipated romance of 2025. I absolutely adore Hannah Bonham Young so much. I've now read Out on a Limb and Set the Record Straight, which is her Christmas novella, which I literally finished yesterday, and I just absolutely adore her. She is so hilarious. I love how her romances always balance the serious and the funny, and also just the actual romance and all the tension. This one is obviously about Sarah and Caleb, who are two characters in Out on a Limb. They are basically the best friends of the protagonist in that, and I loved reading about them in Out on a Limb, so I'm so glad and I'm so full of joy that we have a book dedicated to them. And another one that I'm going to be reading in January, no doubt, in a reading vlog, and this one also actually gets published in January, so the wait isn't very long. I think these next 3, yeah, okay, these next 3 again I'm going to do all together. These 3 books were sent to me by Michael Joseph, so we have Retrograde by Emily Carter, Wake Up Nat and Darcy by Kate Cochrane, and then Keep Me in Your Heart by Monica Murphy. So these are obviously 3 romance books from 3 authors that I've actually never read from before. I am very, very intrigued to read these. I feel like I'm quite picky when it comes to new romance authors because I know what I like in romance, and that is quite specific. But saying that in the same breath, I really haven't dabbled in all that much romance, and as I said, I've never read anything from these authors before, so if anyone has, let me know what you think about them. Out of these 3, the one that I only really recognise is Monica Murphy, and I've never read any of her books, so guys, please let me know which ones you think I should read first, which ones, if you've read any of them, you would recommend. Thank you so much to Michael Joseph. I was actually running out of some romance books, so these will be great for next year. Next we have The Second Body by Daisy Hildyard. This one I actually found in a charity shop. I love Fitzcarraldo editions so much. I've been really getting into their books this year. They are an independent publisher, and now so many of my favourite books are from them. So when they publish their books, wait, I do actually have a blue one so I can show you for comparison. The blue ones are always fiction, and then the white ones are their non-fiction. Like I said, I did find this in a charity shop, and I read the back of it and I was like, okay, I'm sold. All I read before buying it was every living thing has 2 bodies. To be an animal is to be in possession of a physical body, a body which can eat, drink and sleep. It is also to be embedded in a worldwide network of ecosystems. When every human body has an uncanny global presence, how do we live with ourselves? In this timely and elegant essay, Daisy Hildyard captures the second body by exploring how the human is a part of animal life. That sounds so interesting to me. I have read a couple of non-fiction books this year that I have absolutely adored, so I would love to carry on that streak, and this just sounds like the perfect non-fiction book for me, so I cannot wait for that. And then, as I already showed you, I do have another Fitzcarraldo edition. This one is Dark Neighborhood by Vanessa Onwimezi. I hope that I pronounced that right, but with a lot of Fitzcarraldo editions, I never hear anyone talk about them, and I just stumble across them, and then I'm like, oh my god, okay, this sounds like a 5-star read for me, and I always hope and pray that they are going to be, because then I would love to just shout from the rooftops about their books. This one says, in her brilliantly invented inventive debut collection, Vanessa Onwuemezi takes readers on a surreal and haunting journey through a landscape on the edge of time. Border with another world, a line of people wait for the gates to open on the floor of a lonely room. Born Winner runs through his life's achievements and losses. A suburban garden, a man witnesses a murder that pushes him into the community. Struggling to realise the human ideals of love and freedom, the characters of Dark Neighbourhood roam instead the depths of alienation, loss and shame. With a detached eye and hallucinatory vision, they observe the worlds around them as the line between dream and reality dissolves and they themselves begin to fragment. Again, sounds like a 5-star read for me. If you have the buzzwords haunting, surreal, and then like the blurring of dream and reality, I'm gonna read it. I am so excited. Fitzcarraldo editions and their authors that they publish very rarely let me down. So again, a 5-star prediction. Next we have, okay, I actually have already read this book. I found this in a secondhand bookshop and I literally got it straight away. It is the American paperback edition of People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I absolutely prefer the US editions of Emily Henry's books. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not, but I just love them so much. And you very rarely get or find US editions in the UK. And then I saw this in a secondhand bookshop for what, like £3, and I was like, okay, I literally can't leave it here, you are coming home with me. And I'm just so happy that I had it. Is this like my favourite Emily Henry? No, but I do want to reread it before the film comes out, or the show, whichever one it is. I just couldn't leave it there because it was so cheap and so gorgeous, and I actually don't own a physical copy of this book anyway, so I'm so happy that I found that. Then we have a Shirley Jackson, and that is The Lottery and Other Stories. I read The Lottery by Shirley Jackson in uni, but I cannot remember anything of it, and I know that I loved it, and I know that I would love it even more now. I feel like I always speak about Shirley Jackson. She's one of my favourite authors. I am constantly floored by every single thing that she ever wrote. I still have only read The Haunting of Hill House and We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and obviously The Lottery, but I don't count that because I can't remember it. I am so excited to read more from her. She is an author who I definitely want to read every single thing that she ever published, and I kind of need to make a move on it. This one I feel like might be the next one that I read. I'm very excited to finally own a copy and be able to get into more of her stories because she just does the gothic like nobody else. Then we have The Wall by Marlon Hostoffer. I have been wanting to read this book for years. I have seen so many people recommend it to me off of the back of I Who Have Never Known Men, obviously by Jacqueline Hartman, one of my favourite books of all time. And then I also had a friend fairly recently read this after loving I Who Have Never Known Men, and she did say it was fairly similar and she could get the vibes. I don't know anything about this, but I do definitely want to go into it like that. I'm fairly blind. All I know is that it is of course a dystopian, that people have recommended it for people who love I Who Have Never Known Men. I feel like it's going to be one of those quiet, slow dystopians, which are some of my favourite books in the entire world. Okay, all I'll read on the back is, this is at once a simple account of potatoes and beans, of hoping for a calf, of counting matches, of forgetting the taste of sugar and the use of one's name, and simultaneously a disturbing dissection of the place of human beings in the natural world. I just am so excited. Again, another one that I am kind of expecting to rate 5 stars. I kind of forgot that we had another Fitzcarraldo edition, but this is honestly, out of all of the Fitzcarraldo editions that I have ever read or like have had my eye on, this and Drive Your Plough Over the Bones of the Dead, which I do already own, are the 2 Fitzcarraldo editions that I've wanted to read for the longest. And this one is Hurricane Season by Fernanda Melchor. Again, I know absolutely nothing about this. All I know is that like the narrative in which it's written, it's just basically one long paragraph. I don't think there are any breaks in it, so I'm gonna have to be in a very specific mood, or like the mood to just sit and binge read it. On the back it says the witch is dead. After a group of children playing near the irrigation canals discover her decomposing corpse, the village of La Matosa is rife with rumours about how and why this murder occurred. As the novel unfolds in a dazzling linguistic torrent, Fernanda Melchor paints a moving portrait of lives governed by poverty and violence, machismo and misogyny, superstition and prejudice, written with an infernal lyricism that is as affecting as it is enthralling. Hurricane Season, Melchor's first novel to appear in English, is a formidable portrait of Mexico and its demons, brilliantly translated by Sophie Hughes. I've wanted to read this for years, and as I keep repeating, like Fitzcarraldo editions just do it like nobody else, and again, a 5-star prediction. Honestly, if I ever show you a Fitzcarraldo edition on my TBR, just assume that I think I'm going to rate it 5 stars at this point. Next we have a collection of poetry, and that is Dream Work by Mary Oliver. Did I say that I refuse to buy any poetry until I've read the 2 massive shelves that I already have of it? Yeah. Did I buy this anyway? Yeah. I honestly was going through all of the poetry that I've had on my wish list for so long right before I lost my bookseller discount. I'm grieving. And this one I had my eye on for so long. I've never owned a collection of Mary Oliver's poetry. I've never sat down with a physical book and read them. I have heard and read so many of them through things like Pinterest, but I've never sat down physically and read one, and this will be my first collection. I do really want to get like a bounded collection of all of her poetry. I know that there are gorgeous editions out there of that, but for now I just love this. I love this cover so much. There are also 45 poems in this. I definitely think that this is going to be the next poetry book that I pick up because I've been so excited. I just love Mary Oliver from what I've already read. Okay, on a very, very different note to all of these, we then have a Junji Ito, and that one is Deserter. I could not remember when buying this if I've already one read it or two, like I own it at home, like in my hometown. I still can't figure that out. It's nowhere on my Goodreads, so I assumed that I didn't. So I did buy it. I just love collection Junji Ito editions, and I've nearly read all of the ones that I do own from him, so I kind of needed another one. Again, before I lost my discount, I absolutely adore reading Junji Ito so much. I love how just unique but disturbing and grotesque all of his works are. I always say I would love to take a peek into his brain for 2 seconds, but I fear I would get too terrified and then I would be traumatized for the rest of my life. I've also just read the back and it says, an ever-increasing malice, a mind-numbing terror. See the seeds of horror sown in this collection of Junji Ito's earliest works. Okay, I'm interested to see what his earliest works are going to compare to now that I've read like a lot of his newer collections. We are on to the final stack. I don't think you can even see the top of it. These top 5, again, I will talk about in unison because I did get them all in the same place. I recently got invited to Vintage Publishing's Christmas party, and again, like Vintage Books, Vintage Publishing and Fitzcarraldo are my 2 favourite publishers in the entire world. If I had like a top 3, I think my top 3 favourite publishers and imprints are Vintage Books, Fitzcarraldo and Faber. Like anything from them I will read. They never, really rarely let me down. But anyway, I was invited to their event and it was so much fun. It was such a pleasure and so lovely meeting everyone. We did so many Christmas activities, but we did also get some books. I actually have the tote bag sitting on my bed, so we all got this tote bag as like a goodie bag, which is my current tote bag. I always go through a hyperfixation of using one tote bag. In the goodie bag was one of my favourite books of all time. I Have Never Known Men, of course. I will never stop talking about this book. I may sound like a broken record, babe, but I am never going to stop. I now own like 4 copies of this book, so maybe one day I will do a giveaway. I just love it so much. It's one that I'm definitely going to reread next year. I will champion this book until the day that I die. I will never stop talking about it. If you haven't read it, I would recommend it. Please do. But the other 5 books that I got actually, because I can't forget this one, I haven't actually read yet and I'm so excited to. So first and foremost, we have The Snow Ghost, classic Japanese ghost stories. I've been very intrigued about this. I actually already have my eye on all of these. Anything about ghosts or hauntedness, I'm gonna read. This also looks gorgeous. I cannot wait for that. We also have Stoner by John Williams, which I actually already do own, so I'm probably gonna give this away to my boyfriend. I feel like he would really like it. We have The Skating Rink by Roberto Bolano. I saw so many of these books be republished in like these gorgeous editions. And then finally for the vintage books, we have 2 Toni Morrisons. I love Toni Morrison so much. I've only read The Bluest Eye and Recitative. I really cannot wait to read some more from her, but we have Paradise and also Beloved. Beloved is my most anticipated Toni Morrison. This is also a 5-star prediction. I do also own it in paperback, but this gorgeous hardback edition I'm utterly in love with. But yeah, I'm just obsessed with vintage. So Vintage Publishing, thank you so much for all of those. You are some of my favorite people in the entire world. I literally cannot wait to read all of them. Talking about some of my favorite people in the entire world and Faber, we then have 2 Faber member editions. These were also very kindly gifted to me by Faber. We have the Outline series by Rachel Cusk. This is massive. I have been wanting to read more of the series for so long. I feel like I first read Outline in 2022 and I absolutely loved it. So the fact that I have a bounded collection, cannot wait. These are the epitome of summer to me. And then we also have Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I love these Faber editions of Sally Rooney's. I love all of them, but the Sally Rooney ones are also gorgeous. So Faber, thank you so much. Again, I absolutely adore them and I'm obsessed with these editions. They make such incredible like centerpieces. Thank you so much. My camera battery is flashing, so I'm either gonna have to get through these incredibly quickly or I'm gonna have to be back to film once it's charged a little bit. Next we have Think Again by Jacqueline Wilson. This one was a gift from one of my friends and old colleagues because I was leaving. So basically what happened was Jacqueline Wilson was right in front of us in the bookshop. Like we were at work and she was there and I had a little bit of a fangirl moment. I got incredibly shy and he essentially just surprised me by getting me the book and also getting her to personalize it for me. One of the most thoughtful things in the entire world. I nearly cried and I'm gonna be treasuring this forever. And I'm also just so excited to to read it because I've heard such great things. I can't even look at that without wanting to cry. Next we have another vintage edition, but this is one that I bought myself, and that is Autobiography of Red by Anne Carson. I have wanted to read this for years. This has been my #1 anticipated Anne Carson, and I finally caved and got it because these new editions are stunning, and I love the Red Spine Vintage Classic, so that's going to look gorgeous with all of my other ones. I'm so excited for that. We then have Just Kids by Patti Smith, another one that I've been wanting to read for years. I literally cannot wait to read this. I'm so excited for it. Do I feel like this could potentially change my life? Yeah. Do I know how? No, but it is a 5-star prediction. Cannot wait. Guys, I'm trying to get through these so quickly, but I know my camera battery is going to die right before I finish. We then have The Hearing Trumpet by Lenora Carrington, another one that I spoke about fairly recently, I think, and another one that I've been wanting to read for years. I know nothing about this other than we are following an elderly woman, and it's a little bit surreal and strange, and that's all I need to know. And then the last 3 books we're going to speed through. We then have Susan Sontag's The Benefactor. Susan Sontag is another author who I've been so intrigued to read. This was her debut, so I cannot wait for that. We have Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. I probably pronounced that so wrong. Another one that I've been wanting to read for years. This is one that is definitely going to get read in the first half of 2025. And then finally we have How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. I have spoken about this so many times and how bad I wanted it, but I hate this cover. This is like a dystopian sci-fi read, and again a 5-star prediction. I did not go into any of the details for those. So that is it for my book haul. As always, if you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought about them, whether you like them or you dislike them. Of course, once more, don't forget to check out Books2door's link at the very top of my description. I love them so much. If you watch until the very end of the video and you don't really know what to comment any book emoji. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here and for spending some time.